ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ put the reading. Would that be
Hari Om. Yeah.
um, okay, Pradeep, since you are new, how we do is that we each read one topic. According to the people will be reading one topic each, and then we discuss, and then the next person will read the next topic, like that. Binaji, can you start reading this?
Yeah, Hari Om. Hari Om, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear.
Can I start?
Yeah, please.
The fundamental problem, the locus of error. When you see something but do not recognize it for what it is, you can take the thing for something other than what it is. Failure to see an object for what it is leads to a mistake as to the nature of the object. If the object is totally unperceived, there is only ignorance, but no mistake. A totally unperceived unknown object never becomes the locus of error concerning its nature. For example, seeing a dark shape beside the path in the grayness of dusk, I fail to perceive that it is a tree stump. Concluding the shape is a man lurking in the shadows, I become alarmed and go in another direction. My perception of something beside the path gave me a locus of making a mistake. Because I saw something but failed to recognize it for the harmless thing it was, I had a basis for making a mistake about what was seen, a mistake that caused me to change my direction. My short-sighted neighbor and his keen-eyed wife, traveling the same path a few minutes later, had no problem. He could not see even the outline of the old stump, so he made no mistake about it. There was no scope for him to make a mistake about it. He had no perception of it. He did not know it was there. His keen-eyed wife saw it clearly for what it was. So both went along the path happily, one in total ignorance of the existence of the object, and the other in clear knowledge of its nature. An animal has little chance to commit an error about itself because its consciousness of itself as an individual is very limited. It does not appear to have much capacity for critical awareness of itself or others. The cow does not pine because she is unable to give as much milk as her sister in the next stall. The alley cat is not depressed because it wants to be a bulldog. The horse does not spend hours in the meadow trying to fly. Not having the kind of self-perception that allows it to compare and judge itself, an animal has no basis for making a major mistake about its nature. Thus, an animal seems to have no basic confusion about itself. It appears to be free from the multitude of complexes that bother human beings. But a human being does have the capacity to commit such an error. Highly conscious of himself, he has a locus in which to make a mistake about himself. If in looking at himself, he does not recognize himself for what he is, he will make a judgment about himself that will be something other than what his self is.
Yeah, I think it was clear. Yeah, please keep your mics muted when you are not speaking. That helps me. I think it was pretty clear, right? It is just basically extending from the last chapter where we saw that only human beings have the goals of dharma and moksha. Now we are seeing why human beings do make this error about oneself, why we need to seek moksha, why we seek it, and but animals are not seeking moksha or dharma because they are not as self-conscious as we are. Hemanji, continue. Hemanji, can you continue? The next, continue to the next one. Hemanji? Okay, okay. Hemanji won't be able to read it as message now. Then Nirmala ji can.
Hari Om. The self-judgment of inadequacy. It is clear that one judgment the human being makes about himself is, as I now am, I am an incomplete being. I am deficient, inadequate. The evidence of this judgment is seen in the compulsiveness and constancy of the human pursuit of security and pleasure. As a conscious being, aware of the right and wrong means of gaining these goals, one often disregards this knowledge, choosing less than ethical means. Even when the means are proper, the great importance of artha and karma can be seen in everyone's intense preoccupation with their gain. The gain of security and pleasures assumes such importance because it is through their gain that one hopes to escape from want, inadequacy, and incompleteness and become a free, adequate person. I want to be a complete person. As I am not complete, is the common experience of everyone. This urge to be complete stems from seeing oneself as apparently incomplete. The high degree of human capability for self perception makes possible the human judgment of lack of completeness. All struggles in life are expressions of the urge to be complete. The conclusion that I am an incomplete person either accurately reflects my nature or is a mistake. This will have to be decided. If it reflects my true nature, there is no need to seek further knowledge about myself for the sake of changing my conclusion that I am incomplete. On the other hand, if it is an erroneous conclusion, then I need to know more about myself in order to discover the completeness that seems to be hidden from me. Whether I'm complete or incomplete must be determined. But unless it is determined, the fact is that I see myself as an incomplete person.
Vinaji, Srinivasji, and Pradeepji are to the class. So I just summarize what we had read earlier. The first chapter was about four human purusharthas, four purusharthas. That is four things that are being desired by every human being. Every human being's desire can be classified into one of these four purusharthas. The first one is artha, the desire for securities. It may be wealth, different kinds of wealth actually, different kinds of wealth we can achieve in life. Power, etc. come under this first category of artha. The second category is kama. The various desires we have, the need to be feel, sorry, the need to be feeling love, all that, and the desires for love for things, those are kamas. And then we have then these two goals are also shared by animals also. But the third goal and fourth, that is dharma and moksha, are sought by humans also. So, dharma is basically a sense of ethics inside ourselves. I mean, it's like universal, like universal values like ahimsa. Basically, that is ahimsa, or, or like I don't want to be lied to me. I don't want others to lie to me. So, and I know that others don't want to be lied to them. So that knowledge is such knowledge is basically dharma. Like I don't want others to commit violence against me. I don't want anybody to hurt me, physically or verbally or mentally. So I know that every other creature also wants this. A cow does not know that if this is some threat from you, then it will certainly harm. If it doesn't, then it will not probably do anything to you. But for human, that's not like that. I know nobody. I know I don't want anybody to harm me, and I know that others also don't want to be harmed. So basically, this not doing to others what you want others to do, you don't want others to do to yourself is basically dharma. So these kinds of universal values form the Samanya Dharma, and from that, then there is Vishesh Dharma. Vishesh Dharma comes under our that is taught by Vedas, especially. Vishesh Dharma is Samanya Dharma is generally known for us all. We know it. Like ahimsa and all such values, we need not have to be taught. Whereas the Vishesh Dharma, or the Dharma, has to be taught, that we learn from the Vedas. And the fourth goal is moksha. Actually, the fourth pursuit is the real ultimate pursuit, we can say. That because all other pursuits, whether we are seeking some punya, or doing some dharmic acts with seeking punya, then also we are trying to, we think that we'll be secure and we will feel secure and complete when we gain to a higher loka or gain some punya. We'll be in a loka where we feel complete and feel adequate. Like, we think we will gain that. So basically, what I am seeking for, whether I am working, I'm trying to get money, or whether I am trying to get some desired objects, or whatever, I am just um, trying to get rid of my sense of insecurity that I am not complete. I need. That is why I need basically need security, because I feel I am incomplete. That basic sense of insecurity is what is driving all our pursuit. So, and knowing that, so the knowledge that I am insecure uh, helps me understand that the ultimate goal I want is this freedom from this basic insecurity, inadequacy, feeling of incompleteness, as Swamiji has said in this chapter also. That it is freedom from that I need. I am not actually seeking money. I am actually seeking a freedom from my insecurity. I think money will yeah, money will give me better security. Yes, of course it does for some extent, but nothing in this world, worldly objects, no worldly objects actually give us complete total security. We still are limited. So freedom from these limitations, freedom from insecurities is what we are seeing. In this chapter, we are just we are primarily examining what the insecure feeling we have. We are either we are limited and either we are a limited insecure person, we really are, or we are then we have to do something about it. Then there is no need to again gain more knowledge about it, because if I am insecure, then I have to know uh, get how to become insecure. So if I am really sorry, I'm sorry, if if I am really limited person that I am, I think I am, then definitely I need to seek other ways to find security, or I need to solve the problem otherwise. But I may also be making a wrong judgment about myself that I am limited and insecure. That we have to know whether I am really limited, or is it a wrong conclusion? Because a wrong conclusion comes when we actually don't know ourselves. If that is, if I have, I don't know something clearly, as Swamiji says in this beginning. If I don't know something clearly, then I'll certainly be mistaking it. A rope without, we can, if as the and the rope as snake example, we can mistake a rope to be snake. When there is no adequate light, but we have seen something and we think it might be a snake. We haven't seen it properly. So this lack of proper knowledge of an object gives rise to wrong knowledge of that object. So similarly, we maybe making a wrong judgment about ourselves. That's what we are looking into. Any comments or any points to discuss? If you want, you can, or any questions, you can. But if you, and Srinivas, clear actually. Was I clear? Then doubt or anything, you can discuss.
Okay, I have a. Am I clear?
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, this is Sriram. I have a
yeah.
question over here. See, I once heard in Swami Dayananda Saraswati's lecture where he says that man cannot accept himself. He's not able to basically accept himself. So that was not very clear to me. What does he mean that I am not acceptable to myself? Swamiji used to say this a lot. So if anyone could clarify on that, that would be great.
I don't exactly know that. I think, yeah, it is about self-acceptance on that topic. Uh, Basically, I consider myself as an incomplete and insecure person. So I am not actually able to accept myself. I am trying to, I need to get better. So this lack of sense of insecurity is actually not letting me accept myself. So I think Prashantji can little bit elaborate on it.
Yeah, Shabbai. Swamiji gives a very beautiful example, and he talks about dog show. So, especially in the US, this is not very prevalent in India, but in the US, people have these dog shows where they groom the dog, make them do different tricks, and then at the end, they are awarded something or the other. So, even if a dog wins, it is not the dog that's going to be elated, but it is the master of the dog. And even if another dog loses, he's not going to sit in a corner making a sad face and start drooling on the floor. It is his master who is going to start crying about it. So all insecurities are rooted in the sense of the small I, the sense that I am small, the sense that I am incomplete. An animal is also incomplete for sure. The upadhi of an animal, the mind of an animal, the physical body, the intellect, and so on. All of these things are definitely incomplete, but they are not developed enough intellectually to be able to assess themselves as incomplete. They don't have that sort of self identity about themselves. Another example Pujaswamiji says is that an elephant never considers himself or herself fat, neither does a cow. So, human beings may go for these different sort of surgeries, Botox surgery, silicone implants, this, that, all sorts of nonsense, because human beings are very insecure about their body. They are very insecure about the way they look, how short they are, how tall they are, how fat they are, how skinny they are. But animals inherently do not have that sort of an insecurity because they don't have the same sort of self identity and the self insecurity that arises as a consequence of it that human beings do. So, in the context of what Puchusamaji said.
Yeah, we also have problems. Like many people have problems that my neighbor's house is bigger than mine. These animals don't have those problems. It is, if it has a shelter, that would is well enough for it. But for us, it is not that. Yeah, like neighbor's house is not enough. Sorry, my house is not as big as I think. Different things, maybe car, or maybe I lack power that somebody else has. Like that, I can have numerous. It all is based upon this limited personality. I think of myself as a limited, insecure person. So basically, based on this insecurity, I develop um, a lack of acceptance for myself. So when I get rid of the when I gain freedom from this sense of insecurity, I will also be accepting myself properly.
So, from my understanding, what I understand is that this lack of self acceptance would be the cause of all the desires. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah. Insecurity and lack of self acceptance is not drives you to desire various things outside you. You think you are a limited person, and then you are trying to find different forms of securities, maybe wealth, it may be some desirable object to satisfy. You think that will bring more security to you. Like in uh, one of the examples, Swamiji makes it clear that a person with uh, sorry, a person will be seeking touches only when he has a problem with his legs. Otherwise, he won't be seeking touches. uh, if I can stand on my legs, then I won't be seeking touches. So The basic problem here is lack of, sorry, sense of insecurity. So, should we move on to next? We can move. Next is Pradeep. Can you read the next one? Pradeep, will you be able to read?
Uh, the attempt for completeness through change. Just in most situations, I see myself as incomplete, not wholly adequate, whatever the circumstances may be. I do not feel truly at home.
Something further is needed, and I try to achieve completeness by changing the situation. For example, a young man happily married with three young children, a good job, a comfortable home, and a generally pleasant prospect for the future, nonetheless felt uncomfortable about the situation. He did not feel adequate under the circumstances because he was not putting aside funds for the children's college education. The children would not have good prospects in life unless they were educated. Yet, the college costs escalated every year. The young man therefore decided to take a second job. The job brought in some money, which he began to invest. He felt less worried about college expenses but grew concerned over his health. Perhaps the strain of two jobs was too much. He was always tired and noticed some shortness of breath. He began to eat a special he began to eat a special diet and joined a gym program to, to build stamina. His energy increased and his health was better than ever. But a sense that he was still not on top of things remained. He had been investing his extra funds in slightly speculative stocks. The stock market now began behaving erratically. Perhaps the better thing would have been to go in for some kind of real estate investment. But then again, the days of major tax advantage in real estate were gone. Taxes might go up. Perhaps tax-free municipal bonds would be the best answer, although the field would be modest. In the meantime, he began to think that he, with his children, they were growing up and he rarely ever saw them. His wife complained that she too never saw him. He wanted to be more involved father and more companionable husband. He needed to find a way to lessen the load and spend more time at home. And so it went on. Doggedly, he continued to work to bring about a change in the circumstances which he hoped would allow him to feel adequate, complete, at home with himself. If you look closely at the variety of changes you work to bring about in the situation of your life, you will see that you make changes so that you feel adequate. My attempt to change the situation is really an attempt to change myself. I do not try to change the situation in which I am at home with myself. But when I see myself as inadequate, I add new things into my situation so that I may feel better, or I may eliminate some aspects from the situation in order to be comfortable. Yeah, please scroll down.
Yeah, one topic is also we can discuss. So basically, what Swami is saying that through the story is that there is no end actually to no matter how much security or how much wealth we make, there is no end to this sense of insecurity, and we still want something else or something more or something other than what we have now. We always desire. In another talk, he says that I want that I want is a constant thing that I want. I always want. I want maybe, but what I want changes. Like I may be wanting a good house now. Later I may be wanting a car. Then I may be desiring for spending more time with my family, being loved and loving my being a loving family person. Like I may be desiring different things, but I desire is always there. I always desire something or the other. So what this is showing is that no matter how much we get wealth, or how much desires we fulfill, there is no actually no stop to this sense of insecurity. So it is basically showing us the limitation of the external securities or other things we can get. That this basically showing the limitation of what we can get from outside. Uh, that we need to be we need to be able to accept ourselves. Then only we can um, actually really enjoy what is outside. Then only will be able to get rid of this feeling of insecurity.
Yeah, from my understanding, what I understand from this is that we are feeling incomplete, and there is a saying that you give the whole world to a human being, he's never going to be satisfied, because that is what he thinks he is looking for, but that is exactly not what he is looking for.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah. So the thing is, I think the we can go further, and he'll actually. I am predicting that what he is going to say Swamiji will further lead to is that you are unaware of who you are. You are self-ignorant, and that self-ignorance is the cause of this unacceptability and incompleteness.
yeah,
This is my understanding.
yeah. That's very good. That is different. Uh, Next question. Srinivas, can you read? Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Srinivas.
Personal values determine types of changes. The types of changes one attempts to bring about in a given situation are dependent upon one's personal value system. Personal values are made up of subjective values and ethical values. Subjective values come from one's temperament, conditioned by one's own array of experiences of pleasure and pain. For example, if I am of an active temperament, I am likely to be drawn to active pursuits, which I find to be pleasant. My ethical standards also will affect the choice I make, in some cases causing me to choose a less desirable option or to shun a more attractive opportunity. My ethical values are those guiding standards which take into consideration the likes and dislikes of others. I accept ethical guidelines either because I have not resisted this imposition upon me by society, culture, or some other authority, or because I see their value for myself. In either case, I follow them because I feel that I shall be more fulfilled by doing so rather than being guided solely by my personal likes and dislikes. Thus, ethical standards are also connected with the desire to quote what is pleasant and avoid what is unpleasant.
Yeah, basically, we are all working. We are all driven by our raga dveshas, what we like and what we don't like. The point of something. Nitin.